Hello, everybody. If you can hear me and see me okay, let me know. I just want to double check and make sure that I am here. Welcome, beautiful souls. I hope you're all doing well. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Bernadette. So we have a lot going on right now, and I'm sure you're all feeling it. So there are a couple of things I want to talk about. And of course, this is my opinion. First, let's talk about the energy. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Judy. Hey, Anita. So tonight is the new moon in Aquarius, which is air energy. Aquarius is for the greater good, the visionary. Hi, Amy. Hi, Nancy. The big changes. Hey, Shelly. And you may have been feeling this for the past week, especially the past week. Remember, air is the mind. So there might be a lot of overthinking, overanalyzing, or even just thinking big, thinking crazy ideas. Hi, Lori. Crazy ideas. Which aren't crazy, but maybe to you, you think they're so far-fetched. They're big, they're crazy. So on Wednesday, between Wednesday and Thursday, we had a huge spike in the Schumann resonance. And it was very, very intense, and it lasted 36 hours. That was like the total of this high spike in the energy field. So from Tuesday to Thursday, most likely you felt it in one way or another. A lot of people complained about pressure in the head, headaches, not being able to sleep. High blood pressure seemed to be huge. A lot of people's blood pressure spiked, whether they had high blood pressure or not. Some people had seizures. Some people got severe panic attacks. There was just a lot of physical stuff going on. Oh, I'm so sorry, Melissa. Oh, that's so sad. I love kitties. I'm sorry. So that was like rough. That was rough. So there was intense energies, and what these energies are doing, it's pushing up the parts of us that we've learned to suppress so good that we don't even recognize it. We're not even aware of it. So you may be noticing a lot of emotional stuff coming on, nostalgic memories, or even music. Just a lot of shifts going on that's making us aware of things that we've learned so good to suppress and don't even acknowledge. We don't even know it's there. So they're starting to come up. Which brings me to, before I forget, some of you may have seen the short videos, like 2-minute videos I've been posting lately. And I became an ambassador for Unified TV. So I am promoting this streaming, I would say platform, but think of like Gaia, but it's the beginning stage of Gaia. And I've been following Jason, who is one of the founders, creators, whatever the title is, of Unified TV. And I feel it's important to support people and companies that actually allow us the freedom to be who we are and not walk on eggshells, which brings me to YouTube. One of the videos I posted that a lot of people did comment on got taken down, and I got a warning. And of course, we're not surprised that this happened. But the point is, I'm still doing YouTube. I will always do YouTube because I know it's easy for a lot of people. And I know some of you have been following me for the past like 6-7 years. And I've been everywhere because I keep getting booted off all different platforms. So on that note, I did start a channel on Rumble. It's like 2 videos. That's my backup. And on Rumble, what I'm going to do is post the videos and things that I want to talk about that I know sure as shit I cannot talk about on here. So if you're a part of Rumble, I have my link in the description. I'd love for you to follow me. If you have a channel, let me know. I'd love to follow you back. I do follow quite a few people on Rumble, but like I said, I'm new to it. But it's a platform that I support because they don't censor anything. You can do, within reason, within being legal. But this walking on eggshells is not for me. I don't do that. And I'll get struck out before I even... I didn't come this far, and I'm sure you will agree. We don't come this far just to come this far and go backwards and put our tail between our legs and obey and comply. No. And that's what's bringing me to the next topic that we're talking about is be true to yourself. I've been saying 2023 is the year of the shift. This is the year we make the changes. I got to be careful how I say this without going, because it fires me up. But the WEF, the World Economic Forum, had their meeting of the mindless in Davos. And those are the unelected officials, billionaires, that decide how they're going to control all of us small people. And I forgot who it was. They were counting down 100 days until the next pandemic. So they're fucking psychic too, which they should have a psychic channel. I mean, Gates is psychic. He's been everything. He's like a real Renaissance man. The point is, don't panic. They're getting desperate, and the only way they can get to us is through fear. And we've been through a lot the past 3-4 years. Was it like 3 years? We're going into 4 years. That we're aware of a lot of things we weren't aware of before. This is the year to be true to yourself and your values. And do not sacrifice. Do not adjust. Do not comply to what doesn't feel right to you just because you don't want to get in trouble. Because if you think about it, yes, me alone, you two can, you got to strike. But if there were 1 million of us sticking together, they would think twice about that because they wouldn't be making any fucking money. So they're not going to shoot down 1 million of the creators. 1, 2, even 100 is easy. So it is a time for us to come together, which brings me to my next topic. Some of you may follow other spiritual channels, and there's these spiritual gurus or teachers or whatever. Use discernment, because I've been seeing, for some reason, it's coming to my attention, and there were people that I followed, and I now see them as a cult because of the things that they're saying. Number one, anybody who makes you feel bad, like telling you, if you don't behave this way, you're not spiritual, or you won't make it to the 5th dimension. None of us know how to live in the 5th dimension. We all are multidimensional, but if we remembered, would we really be here in the situation we're in? Probably not. So, yes, Melissa, and the reason why it's so big right now, because it's a trend. They turned spirituality, which is your own unique path, into a fucking religion. They turned it into another religion. And there are a lot of people that I've been seeing popping up all over, especially YouTube, talking about how they're going to help you ascend. Guys, listen. You know that I am always true to you guys, and I do not share anything I did not do personally. I didn't read something, sounds good, and then share it with you. This is shit I've actually done, and I've done with other people, which is what I share. Anybody who tells you they're going to help you ascend, get to the 5D. There's like some weird, and there's also their own language that they're using. I can't even remember offhand. I knew I should have wrote it down. I knew I was going to forget, but it like just pisses me off so much. Anyone who makes you feel bad is full of shit. None of us know what the future holds. None of us remember what it's like to live in the 5D because we are here fluctuating between the third and the fourth dimension. Ascension, it's happening naturally. Ascension is a process we're all going through in our own way and our own time. Eventually, everyone will ascend. It is a choice. Do I want to do it now, or is the universe going to kick my ass and force me to do it? Some people need to be forced. If you're here watching me and you've been following me, you're there already. Okay, so listening to the wording, they were making me feel bad for the people who follow them because I saw through their bullshit. So guys, please, if you follow someone and they make you feel bad, take what resonates. Sometimes certain things will resonate. Take what resonates. But as soon as you feel bad about who you are, where you are you spiritual enough? Oh my God, are you going to make it to the 5D? Click it off. They are full of shit. And I mean that. They're liars. And I've seen a lot of them charging crazy amounts of money to ascend people, to teach them how to live in the fifth dimension. How the fuck are you going to teach me? How are you going to teach me? You are full of shit. So obviously you're not in the fifth dimension. You're still in the third dimension using the trend of the fifth dimension. So be mindful of that because there is a lot of that shit that's been coming to my attention, and you're going to see more of it as shit starts to like rock and shift. Okay? Here's the truth. I'm going to tell you, my favorite one. I'll raise your vibration. I'm going to explain what raising your vibration means between the science and between the spiritual side of raising your vibration. So I have my pen and paper here. Thank you, Golden Lotus. So these two straight lines, that would be the truth. And I'm going to do two versions. Now, when you are in a lower vibration, doesn't necessarily mean negative. It's just a lower vibration. Like to be in the third dimension for physical, tangible things, energy needs to slow down so we can see it and interact with it. Remember that. It doesn't mean it's negative. But a lower vibration, the energy waves move very slow. So you see how they make little loops. So you're not accessing, I know that this light sucks. You're not accessing the truth often because you're in a lower vibration. Now, when you're vibrating at a higher vibration, energy moves really, really fast, right? And that's what it looks like. It probably looks better than this, but this is somewhat of a visual. Do you see how often you're accessing the truth? So pretty much raising your vibration means being aware. That's all it is. The more aware you are, the more access to the truth you have. So you don't have to do some like crazy dance, jump around, hanging from a tree upside down, meditating. You don't have to do crazy shit to vibrate, to raise your vibration. All you need to do is reconnect internally and become aware of what's actually going on. And don't react, just observe. See how you feel. Your internal self will tell you it's either going to be good or bad. It's that simple. Trust your intuition, trust your heart, because that is the only thing that is going to help you ascend, help you live in the fifth dimension, find yourself, like whatever it is that people are selling, the only one that can do it is you connecting to your inner self. Yes, I agree. We all need help becoming aware of these things. That is different. But a lot of these people aren't trying to help you. They're trying to sell you some bullshit. So be mindful of that. Because as it gets rough, and I'm not saying it's going to be a rough year. It depends where you are. For people who are unaware and at that lower vibration, they're not going to know whether to shit or go blind, because shit's going to hit them and they'll be like, oh my God, I can't deny the truth anymore. And they may not react the way you would react being aware of it. So they will have a harder time, a more challenging time, where you probably won't, simply because you're aware. You've done work on yourself, whether it's shadow work or you're finding yourself, whatever it is, you're connecting to your inner self. That is the only thing that you need to do. Wait, hang on. I saw like a whole bunch of Anita, that's it. It's just accessing more data. Right, more than your six senses, because when you're vibrating higher, my little squiggly lines here, it just means you're having more and more access to the truth. And the truth is what it is. It's not right, wrong, good, bad, black, white. It's the truth. We get to decide how we want to perceive that experience. Either we're going to like it or we're not. Either we're going to see it as something amazing or we're going to see it as something shitty. But in reality, it just is. The experience just is. So that was very important for me to share with you guys, because it really was making me crazy. Okay. I think the way everyone's explaining dimensions is where the problem is. It's not like being in the fifth dimension doesn't mean you go to sleep and you wake up and everything looks like Avatar. That's not the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension actually means living from your heart space. That's all it is. In the fifth dimension, when we are all collectively in the fifth dimension, there is no evil, because anyone who has evolved to the fifth dimension will be coming from the heart space. So there won't be evil. There'll be challenges, but there won't be the evil that we witness here between the third and the fourth dimension. So we can access the fifth dimension through meditation, through mindfulness. There are those moments. For instance, some of you may have noticed, this is something I'm noticing. I've been seeing a lot of like little glitter of light. Like it looks like a little glitter in the air of little light fragments, or I don't know how to explain it, but think of like glitter, and I'm seeing these little spots of light in the air. That is me in that moment accessing the fifth dimension, because I am seeing beyond the veil, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. I'm seeing beyond that. Anytime you look at the sky and you see something more than what you think it is, maybe you see a spaceship, maybe you saw a glimpse of something or a shadow or something like that. And in that moment, you saw something more, but it doesn't make sense third dimension wise. That is actually being in the fifth dimension. And we just keep, right now, we can't be collectively in the fifth dimension because we're still fluctuating. You can't go from the third dimension, no matter what anybody tells you, to the fifth. You have to, it's baby steps. There's like layers of each dimension that you have to go through as we evolve. Can we live in the fifth dimension in this lifetime? I believe we will. I do believe, at least for me, I believe I'll be here, because if I'm not, I'll be really pissed. So that's my story. I do believe that I will be here alive and be able to live collectively in the fifth dimension. Right now, I really do believe we fluctuate between the third and the fourth dimension, because there are those times that you see, like for instance, seeing beyond the propaganda. That's being in the fourth dimension. Being aware of the depth of evil that is taking place, that is the fourth dimension. Because in the third dimension, we didn't see that. We're seeing it now. So that's where we're at now, going between the third and the fourth, and once in a while accessing the fifth. But we're slowly moving into the fourth dimension. Now, the higher the dimension, the faster you evolve. Going from like the third to the fourth dimension might take longer than going from the fourth to the fifth, because each time you're up a generation, up a dimension, I almost said demented, up a dimension, the energy is moving faster, so you evolve more quickly. So we actually access anytime you dream, anytime you meditate and you contact your galactical family, you're probably in the 10th dimension, because in order to get to that, leave the time and space you're at and interact with higher beings, you're beyond the 5th dimension. I'm just reading the comments. Exactly. Golden Lotus, it's a density thing. And I do believe that eventually, as a collective, we will get to the love and the peace that we seek, and yet still be able to evolve through the challenges and lessons that we need to learn. I don't think we need evil to learn, but I think where we are, because our souls thought we were badasses to come here during this time and be part of this awakening, our souls really got this. We are all fucked up and confused and be like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. But on some level, we've already done it. That's why we're here. So you have to trust that, and trust that what you have to offer, just who you are, nothing special, nothing that you have to like get a degree in or start, just you with your experiences. That's it. That's who you're supposed to be here. What you do with that is your purpose in the world. But all you need is true to yourself, take your experiences, how you've learned, grown, evolved, and put it out back into the world. That's what I believe our purpose is. I'm reading Victor's White Shiny Things. That's exactly being in the 5th dimension. I've even seen this dimension split open for a second, and I saw what I thought, I called it a bat stingray. It was like, it looked like kind of like a stingray, but it was flapping like a bat, and it was at night. So it opened, I saw daytime this thing flapping, and then it closed right away. And of course I questioned my sanity, but I know what I saw. And that was like 3-4 years ago. The other day I'm on YouTube and they're talking about people who are spotting flying, what were they, manta rays? I think they were manta rays, like the big, I guess they look like stingrays. I think they were manta rays, flying manta rays. That's not something that is common. So I was like, oh shit, that's what I saw. So those little things is us accessing higher dimensions. And who knows what dimension that was? Just like when you dream or when you meditate, you're in a higher dimension. You don't know what level. If you talk to angels and you see angels, angels are in the 12th dimension, to my understanding. I mean, so I was intuitively told, but I wouldn't like go write a book about that and say that's what it is. I mean, but I know angels are in a much, much higher dimension, which is why it's very hard for them to manifest in human form, because their energy is so intense that, I guess if you think about it, like during the Egyptian days in Atlantis, they were able to do it because people were used to it. Could you imagine like an angel presenting itself like now in the middle of the chaos we were going in? People would like freak out. They wouldn't know what hit them. I'm just reading the comments. It's Victor, it's okay if it's really short. You're still accessing it. Eventually, it will get longer and longer. We still have work to do, obviously, in the third dimension. And I'm kind of, you know what, Anita? Dragons, I swear, I thought one night, it was like around that same time I saw that flying thing, I thought I saw a phoenix shadow fly over me. And I did see a baby dragon with my friend Rachel. She saw it too. It was a baby dragon. It flew right by us. And we were like, that was a dragon. She's like, yeah. And never saw it again. So I believe all these things exist. Bigfoot, fairies. I have fairy houses and doors everywhere, inside and outside. And I swear they leave me things. And maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I believe they do. So that is my connection to them. Other people might think I'm crazy. I could be, but I like the little things they leave me. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share about the gurus, because they've been pissing me off lately. Okay, so I told you guys about Unified. I did my beautiful visual for vibrating at a higher vibration. Take a picture. This way you keep it next to you. Okay, so I feel better now that I got that off my chest. If you are new to the circle, welcome. I always forget. I just don't do an intro. I kind of forget because I'm assuming everybody who's watching me knows me. I'm just reading Victor's message. The heart chakra, the heart itself, is how we access the fifth dimension. So the more you trust your heart and the more you listen to your heart, the more you'll have access to the fifth dimension. Because, I mean, if we want to get into the elite, the reptilians, whatever the shadow government is, I don't think they're human. I think they're fourth dimensional beings that have the ability to shapeshift. However, fourth dimension doesn't live from their heart chakra. And if you notice, to be pure evil, the heart area is kind of eliminated. So there's no compassion. There's no empathy. There's no nothing. There's no emotion, which is why they can do the things they do. And we humans are multidimensional beings. We can manifest. We can travel through many dimensions and timelines, and we can really do a lot of shit. And there are beings who cannot do that, even though they're like fourth dimensional beings. They can't do it because they're vibrating at a lower vibration. So they need us to create their world, basically. That's the only way they can do it. And us, we can think it because we're heart-centered. We're like whole. We're pure source energy. They can get there if they wanted to, but they choose not to. And that's why they can only stay within the fourth dimension. Are there opposite forces? You know what? And I wanted to do something about universal laws, because that's something I think that we should be taught in school before bullshit history that keeps changing. Where in order for something to exist, in order for good to exist, bad has to exist. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist at all. It's the law of polarity. Everything has a polarity. So I guess I can't really speak about being in the fifth dimension because I just know about accessing it and what I've received when I asked about it. But honestly, I mean, I don't know. I believe that being when we're in the fifth dimension, there is still pain. There's just not evil. because there's like pure evil in the lower dimensions. And as we get higher, there is not. But you still have the polarity of good and bad. Like the history of Atlantis. They were higher, they were humans, but they were higher beings. They were like, I guess, maybe they were the first humans, or they were part of creating the humans. I'm not really sure about that because I wasn't there. I don't think I was. And if I was, I don't remember. But they were in the fifth dimension. They were fifth dimensional beings, Atlantis, Lemuria. And then the lower dimensional beings come and be like, guys, listen to this. And taught them greed and service to self. So they actually devolved, which is why Atlantis fell. Because they weren't able to keep Atlantis vibrating at that higher fifth dimension, because they got introduced to greed. And that's how, so it's possible. I mean, just because we get there doesn't mean, oh, we're never going to go back again. I believe you could devolve. It's all about choice. We have free will. We have to choose where we want to be. And we're always choosing service to self or service to others. And service to others doesn't mean sacrifice yourself. It just means you're doing something for the greater good of all when you do something, rather than do something just for self-satisfaction. And yeah, we all deal with that polarity because that's how we were conditioned. That's how we learned to be. That, oh, you want a good job, then, you know, you got to be a backstabber to get to the top, which it sounds good competitively. But when you think about it, the reason why you wanted it was for self-satisfaction. It wasn't for the greater good. And I think that's what's changing now. People are, in our own way and our own pace for sure, coming together. So I do want to talk about the, at least the 7 universal laws. I mean, there's a lot, but the first 7 from the Kabbalion are the most important, because that's how the universe works. It's like the law of gravity. You don't have to believe it for it to work. It doesn't choose if you're good or bad in order to work. It just is. So you can be a child, not knowingly fall off a cliff and, you know, experience gravity, or you could be a mean son of a bitch and jump off a cliff and experience gravity. It doesn't choose. It just is. So whether you know about it or not, it's working. Whether you believe in it or not, it's working. So it's something that we all have to abide by, living in the cosmos, the universes. That's where our free will choice is, and that's the set of laws in order for us to be in the universe. And I think that's really, really important for us to know. Otherwise, I do believe everything is energy. I mean, everything is energy. Everything vibrates, but energy also changes. Like, it can change. So, like, for instance, I believe when we die, we could turn into something else. Like, people who see butterflies or cardinals or certain things, they feel like, oh, that's, you know, a loved one that passed. It very well could be, because that energy in that moment manifested into that, and that's how you see them. It doesn't mean they are the bird forever. In that moment, they were saying, hey, what's up? And they were the bird. So I'm not sure if I understand like what you're trying to say, Victor. Maybe it's just that I'm not understanding like what you're saying. But so the reading, this is going to wind up being like a 2-hour video. If you're new to the circle, welcome. I'm going to show you 3 cards. Each card represents a deck. Pick the deck, the card you're drawn to, and that is the message you need to hear right now. All three decks will resonate with each other. So pick the one that you need to hear. You will get some information from each deck, I promise. Yes, because Victor, the spoon is a third dimensional thing. It's vibrating at a lower vibration so you can see the spoon. But in reality, the spoon is just fast moving energy. So I don't know how it works. I personally never bent a spoon, but I know it's possible. I know it's possible. Like he says, there's no spoon. And really, when you think of it in a deep, expansive way, there is no spoon. It's just the energy that's appearing to be a spoon for that moment. Yeah, pretty much. Like when he was like in the Matrix, when he had to jump, and he kept crashing down, like he kept falling, because he had to understand that what he sees is not real, but on a deeper level, that when he jumps, he can do whatever he wants. It's like a dream. When you have a lucid dream, you can control everything that goes on in the dream because you're at a higher frequency. You're not connected to the like, oh, this is real. Like this reality that I see is real. I can't do this. But in a dream, I'm able to move things and change things and observe things that I believe I can't do in the third dimension. And that's not true. It's just that my mind is opened more and my vibration is higher, that I don't have that barrier holding me back, that I can't make these changes. I can't think something different in my own dream. It's mine. It's my creation. Everything we see, I believe, is our creation. And I'm really trying to grasp how to change that, like with changing timelines. And that's why I do like a lot of meditations, changing timelines or hypnosis. I know there's a way to do it. I just don't know how yet, but I am working on it and I will figure it out if that's the only thing I do while I'm here. Yes, it is definitely true. See, going back to universal laws, the first universal law is the law of mentalism. And God, universe, is referred to as the all. And the law of mentalism states the all is the mind. It's mental. It's the mind. So when you think of it in a deeper way, everything is the mind. And we are all connected to this collective universal mind. So our own limitations are just our beliefs. That's really all it is. And that's something I try to work on all the time, to not eliminate those beliefs, but expand my beliefs into really understanding the all is the mind. Everything we think we can create. Then how come I can't create it right now? Because my own beliefs is what's blocking me. And it's not just about saying affirmations or tapping. It is that depth of belief that I think we have to access. It's not the superficial things that I think we've been working on, because I've been doing it for years. And by now I should be able to manifest the castle, and I'm not. So I think it's much, much deeper. It's simple. I think our beliefs complicate it, which is why we might have a hard time figuring out how to do it. I mean, that's my opinion. Okay, to the reading. The two cards that came out, so this is overall the energy of the reading, is Harvest and Joy. And if you think about it, Harvest is kind of like what we're in right now. We're gathering all our information. We're gathering all our inspirations, our thoughts, dreams, goals. We're just gathering it all together because that's what this Aquarius energy is doing. And joy. You don't have to look for joy. It's there. So Where is it residing in you? What are you blocking yourself from feeling joy? And usually it's superficial shit. It's, oh, when this happens, that happens, I have this, I have that, this ends. And it's really not, because it's there. Finding joy in the moment is where we need to be. So I think being mindful when we feel like, oh, I wish I would be happy if I had this, or I wish. Like, catch yourself saying those things, because something is blocking you. There is some kind of belief that has you believing you need something else to be happy. Like, you're not good enough the way you are. You obviously need something else. You need to be someone else. And that kind of makes sense with the energy that we're in from now until the full moon. I don't believe that we wouldn't receive it. I have noticed, if I am not clear about what I want to manifest or create, it comes in a screwed up way. And I'd be like, maybe I should have been more clear, more details about it, rather than just asking for something vague. So if you think about it, when you're asking for something, you are getting it. You are getting it. It's just that we're not being really clear about what it is that we want. And most of the time, and this is huge, when I work with clients, I will ask them, what do you like? What do you like to do? They don't know. Well, if you can have anything in the world, what would you have? And I'm not talking about money. Take money off the table. Money is not even relevant. What do you want? If you can have anything, I had a magic wand. What can I create for you? 99% of the people don't have a clue. We know it's something. We want something that we don't have. And it's probably because we don't have it, which is why we want it. We just don't know what it is. And I think this energy is more about being clear about what we want. And that is really important. And this is the new moon. This is when we plant the seeds. This is when we are creating. Be clear about it. Tonight's meditation, it's going to be a manifesting meditation. And I don't want you to sit here and think, okay, what am I going to create? Just go with it, because it's going to be a heart-centered meditation. We're going to be speaking to our heart to show us what we really desire. And I bet you it's going to be different than what you think you want right now. Okay, so let me do my timestamps. I'm going to show you the 3 cards now, and I'm going to write down the time. Okay, so this is deck number 1. It's the goose. If you're drawn to this card, you are deck number 1. This is deck number 2. It's the squirrel, right? Yes, squirrel. If you are drawn to Mr. Squirrel, you are deck number 2. And the swan is deck number 3. So if you're drawn to this card, you are deck number 3. Let me know what deck you picked. I'm going to go over the decks again. This is deck number 1. This is deck number 2. And this is deck number 3. Thank you, Victor. Okay, guys, tell me what deck you picked. This way I know I could start doing the readings, because sometimes now I'm going to... Okay, good. Everyone's picking their deck. So if you picked the goose, you are deck number 1. So it's inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident. Be confident. You will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry. You are blessed. Let yourself fly. I'm going to read it again because I kind of screwed up. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident. You will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry. You are blessed. Let yourself fly. So, that's interesting. I want to see what chakra cards come out. Okay, so that's really interesting. Your chakra cards are the throat chakra, your crown chakra, and your heart chakra. So over here where it said loyal friends are always with you, you have the connection card. So without a doubt, you have the support you need on all dimensions, not just physical in this world, but you also have, because you have the crown chakra, I'm feeling you have a deep spiritual connection. And if you're not aware of your spiritual family yet, and that could be anything, whether it's angels and guides, galactical family, any other beings, whatever it is that you communicate with or you believe you have supporting you, whether it's a deity, whatever it is, I feel like you're very connected to that spiritual family. Now, if you find yourself having a hard time because of the energy, I'm just feeling it's not that you're doubting it. I'm trying to think what this feels like. It's not doubt. It feels more like you don't want to have high hopes. I believe that I have this support, but what if I'm wrong and I don't? Like, then what do I do? There's like this, it's a weird doubt. I guess it is still doubt, but it's a what if doubt, not that you really are doubting it. And this, I feel like, comes from childhood. Something, and it could have been an experience where you felt disappointed at some point in your life. And that disappointment, and it could be that hidden deep thing that I was talking about in the beginning, where we're so good at hiding it. So there's this disappointment that you've learned to suppress, and maybe not. My dog's having a dream. He's like barking in his dream. Sorry if you hear it. That's where this doubt is coming from, this disappointment. And don't worry about if you remember when it was, how old you were. The bottom line is, whether it happened in this lifetime or another lifetime, in the moment that you feel it is the moment you can change it. It doesn't matter if you do a hypnosis session and go back to a past life. You can't fix what happens. You can only fix it in the moment. So the moment you're feeling, whether it's doubt, disappointment, whatever that feeling is, be aware of it and just be with it so you can transmute it. And it's only in the moment. So don't look for it. It shows up. Just be more mindful of what you're feeling, whether it's emotionally or physically, which we come to the throat chakra. And how can I put this into words? It's not like fear of being vulnerable, which we all have a fear of being vulnerable, but it's because it's the honesty card. It's more about you speaking your truth. Like you're very connected spiritually, so you have a good idea of what is true to you, but expressing it is very uncomfortable. And that's where I feel like that doubt, disappointment, whatever that feeling is, comes in, and it kind of stops you from communicating it or being it. Because the throat chakra is also self-expression. So it's the way you show yourself in the world. It's the way you communicate, whether physically or energetically. It's how you communicate. Oh, hi, Jazz, Edmonton. Oh, where's Lynn from Canada? She's from, oh God, my aunt lives there, Winnipeg. Wow, you guys must be so cold. So be mindful of that. Now let's go to your, so this, and I'm smiling because it's a good thing, okay? You have the shadow card. So whether you've been doing shadow work and you're aware of it, or you're unconsciously doing shadow work, your shadow side that's suppressed, those suppressed, it's really a suppressed, not those parts. It's a part of you that you've learned to suppress so good that you're not even aware it's there, is making its way out. And it's coming in the experience of communicating the maybe crazy ideas or the inspirational ideas, or maybe you're labeled a conspiracy theorist and you just hide this label that, you know what, I'll just shut up and eventually people wake up and then I'll talk about it. Like, no, now is the time to do that. Now is the time to be true to yourself and speak your truth, because now is the time someone needs to hear what you have to say or what you have to offer, which comes to the spiritual strength, awareness, and triumph success. So I feel like if this is a business or a venture you've been not putting off, but maybe fear on some level is playing a part in you taking action, in you ready to put yourself out there, like, oh, I'm not ready, or is the world really ready for this? It's not just an idea, but it's also an inspiration. And whatever that is, now is the time for you to put it out there. This is the right time, not years from now, and not like when blah, blah, blah. It's now. You're right at this like verge of this. It feels like something big is shifting. And once you overcome this little hurdle, because it's really, it might feel like it's big, but it's not. And you're going to see that once you take action, which is funny because your next card is take action. Once you take the action, you're going to realize, what was I worried about? Like, what was the big deal? Only because either it's something different, it's something new, it's just unique. And I think more and more people are coming up with unique ways to do things that is really important right now, because how can I, like, if we all open up, I open up a candy store and you open up a candy store, and there's like competition, we all have a candy store. What makes us unique and different is the way we express ourselves in the way we present our store, right? So the competition is a good thing, but you also have the freedom to express your uniqueness. So think of it that way. Don't worry if there are things out there that are doing the same thing, or maybe there's no one doing anything and it's just completely new and you don't know how people are going to like take it. Whatever it is, now is the time to put it out there and do it, because you have the opportunity to express yourself through this inspiration. And it's going to unleash something really magical within you. And it's bigger than what you think. Maybe you're thinking of it like on a smaller scale, or maybe you think, oh, this will be nice, like, in this area of wherever you live, for instance. But this is bigger than that. This is something that I feel this, I can't put it into words. I hate when I can't find the words and I can feel it. That's so annoying. This venture is so much bigger than you are and how you see it. And once you just take this step, and thank God, Victor, because sometimes it's so hard for me to explain what I'm feeling. It's so much bigger than what you think, and it's going to make a bigger impact. I just feel like you're making it small. You're making it small because you're making yourself small to fit in and take these like little steps. Okay, so this, I feel like this has to do, hang on, this is the first time I'm seeing the cards, so I'm trying to like, okay, so this one feels like relationship. If you are in a relationship or just recently got out of a relationship, you have reconsider. There's something better and peaceful resolution. But then you also have, you are good enough. Nothing will come of this situation. Have faith in your dreams and don't let pride get in your way. So, and this relationship doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could also be a friendship. There is a very close relationship, whether it's a friendship or it's romance, that is, if it didn't dissolve yet, you can feel that it's dissolving, like something is changing and shifting. And I almost feel like maybe you feel lost, like either you had this person in your life for a long time, and who are you without having this person in your life? Yes, Jess. Just follow yourself and love will follow. That is the perfect way to explain this. Don't force something that feels off. Don't force something because you feel obligated. And definitely don't force something because you feel like you have so much time invested. And a lot of relationships, and whether it's romantic or friendships, that's like the biggest challenge. You feel like, I've been with this person's been in my life for so many years, like, how could I not? And you don't realize, the bottom line is, you don't realize how much this relationship was holding you back. That's what it comes down to. So whether you still in this relationship kind of falling apart, or it's a relationship that fell apart, but you're still, whether it's healing from it or you're creating something new and it's different and it's uncomfortable. And there are new people around you because you do have the support. That was your first card. You have the support that you need. It's just that you are coming into something much bigger and you are vibrating at a higher vibration. And there are certain people in your life, when, like a crystal, for instance, crystals work because they vibrate at a certain vibration, right? Let's say we take amethyst. Amethyst vibrates at a higher vibration. It's a healing stone. So my body, my unconsciousness will either raise the vibration to match the amethyst, or I will feel like, oh, I don't like this stone, and I won't associate with it. It doesn't feel right. Same thing with people in your life. Either you're going to match vibration with them. So if they're at a lower vibration, most likely you have to lower your vibration, or it just doesn't feel right because you're vibrating higher and they feel like, I can't. They just don't want to match your energy. So look at it as a blessing. Look at it as a lesson, but also be aware of how far you've come and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Victor, it's always a feeling. It's always a feeling. You'll know in the moment. You'll know. Especially if you can relate to this reading. Oh, the crystals? I wasn't sure what you said, if it was the crystals or not. But you know in the, especially when you relate, let's say you relate to this reading, it makes sense to you. You can't unknow what you heard. So now you're aware that there's this feeling that I don't know about. And then next week, out of nowhere, in this moment, I'm going to feel something. You're going to know. You're going to know. We are constantly adjusting our vibration, constantly. You go to the store, most likely you kind of like shelter yourself, especially if you're a sensitive, like you try to withdraw because you don't want to pick up everyone's crazy frequencies. Start paying attention to it in yourself. And the more you pay attention to it, the more you become aligned with your inner self, and you'll see how your outer self interacts with your world, the world that you've created. What feels off, change. It's really that simple. If it feels off, change it. If it feels good, stick with it. So let's see what else you got here. Oh, my angel cards. Okay, so this card says laugh. Where the fuck is your sense of humor? And this just tells me there is a part of you that is taking things too seriously. Look at life. Look at the world. If you take this world serious, you will go crazy. It's sometimes you can't even comprehend the things that happen in this world. So you have to laugh about it. You have to find the humor in it. That's what I love about comedians. They can take like something dark and make it into something so funny that you can relate to, that you have to laugh about it because it's not serious. We're here for a short time. Whether we live 100 years or 300 years, it's still a short time in infinity, right? So we have a limited amount of time on this planet. Enjoy it. Enjoy the experiences. No other dimension has what Earth has to offer. There might be other planets that look like Earth, but Earth is unique. Every planet is unique. Every dimension is unique. We have a chance to experience some crazy shit in a crazy dimension at the craziest time. So we might as well enjoy it the best we can. And if we can't enjoy it, then you have to laugh about it. Don't take it serious. By the way, I just recently started feeling better. That thing kicked my ass for 2 weeks. Okay, so then you have expansion, hidden, direction, and manifest. So the number 13 is the one that's standing out to me. So 13 might you might connect to, and the number 25. So these cards, I feel like, are telling you, most likely you went through some heavy shit, right? It's been a rough few years, right? You're doing the best that you can, and it's been challenging, but that was happening so you can expand. Like I don't know if it was the last circle or the last new moon circle. If we don't experience something negative, for instance, we won't know that something is wrong, which then we can expand and grow. So you are past the hurdle. So deck number 1 is past this hurdle. So stop expecting shit to go wrong and fall apart even more. It was just to get you in a place of expansion. And I do feel like there's actually a lot of hidden gifts in this that you might not be aware of exactly. And maybe journal, maybe just sit outside and just be, and let your highest self communicate to you what these hidden gifts are, because there is a hidden talent, and there is a hidden ability that you may not be aware of, and a skill. So I feel like those are the 3 things that is going to help you in this journey, on this venture that you're on, that you feel like maybe you're lacking something. You already have it. It's just that you're not recognizing it. You're looking at it from a limited point of view. It's there. It's just your way of doing it. And then you got the manifest card. So, I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. What is happening right now is manifesting. It's the physical creation of what you've been focusing on over the past 4 years. If there has been like something consistently you've been focusing on the past 4 years, or if it's a combination of things. Right now, you're in a strong manifesting energy. And the mess or chaos that you feel like you're in right now is really, what you're feeling is the expansion of what you've created coming into your life in physical form. So I hope that made sense to you. And I hope that resonated with you. And that was deck number 1. So now we're moving to, oh, wow. Deck number 2. Really, a candy store? Absolutely. Do the candy store. Okay, so deck number 2. I think you should, Vic. I think you should open up a candy store. You have squirrel, always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all you need. And for some reason, this is the first card that stood out to me. Take a fucking trip. Go see some shit, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. So I'm going to see what other cards come out, but I think there is like an unexpected trip coming up for you. We shall see what else is hidden in these cards. So let me make sure those are all the chakra cards. Okay. You have the root chakra. You have the solar plexus and the throat chakra. I've been saying that the throat chakra is the main chakra for the past year and a half, I think it is. The throat and the heart chakra are the main chakras that are getting cleared out. And almost everyone gets some kind of throat chakra card. It's just interesting. So your throat chakra in this card is how you express yourself, but it's also, it says self-control, but I'm feeling like more of self-discipline. Self-discipline really has to do. Oh wow, Gold. Well, I'm grateful that you're here, and I am grateful that it resonates, because sometimes when I do this, I'm like, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I mean, collectively, we're all going through the same shit. So the self-discipline is more about responding than reacting. So just be mindful of when you're reacting and when you're responding from a certain place, because you also have the responsibility card. Is Marianne here? Because it's interesting. It's interesting. It's the same cause as her reading. I'm just saying. I don't even know if she made it to the circle tonight. But so your solar plexus is your power chakra. In this case, between these two cards, I feel like there's a lot of fear and anxiety. Is it, man? Holy shit. I felt it. I'm like, I feel this. This is fear and anxiety. So responding to not just people, I'm talking in general, how you respond to actions you need to take, how you respond to yourself. Like, instead of saying, oh my God, I'm so stupid, like, just be mindful of how you're responding to things. Actually, it's more like reacting. Pay attention to the difference between the reacting and the responding. There is also you moving, because the turtle, and I'm laughing because Archangel Gabriel always tells me something about the tortoise and the rabbit. And he's always telling me I'm like a rabbit. I'm always running all over the place, trying to make things, happen. And I need to be the turtle, because the turtle does slow and steady steps. So in this case, I feel like that you are in the right direction, but fear and anxiety, and this has to do with family and responsibility, is dictating how you choose things, how you respond to things. Like, maybe you feel overwhelmingly that you have to take care of everyone, or that you have to, every choice you make, how it's going to affect everyone in your house and everyone in your family. And that would be overthinking on one aspect, but you're kind of suppressing you've lost yourself in this caretaking role, which is why you feel like you don't know what you want to do, how you want to do it. Like, you just don't know, because you don't know what you want. You know who you need to be for everyone else. But now you're in a place where you have to be you for you. You have to know what you want, what you like, what you don't like, not constantly making these choices because that's who you're expected to be and how you're expected to behave and the choices you're expected to make. Like, that expectation is fizzling out. There is this part of you that, and this is the same thing as deck number one, that hidden part that you are so good at is hiding who you truly are. It's hiding what you want. So you've become what you think everyone expects you to be, that you kind of lost yourself. So yeah, you're in some kind of self-discovery, but this is something that's been going on for a while. The other card that fell out, you got a feeling that you just can't shake. That little voice inside of you Listen to that shit. So, and look, throat chakra. So this is how you're talking to yourself. Listen to it. There is something just like deck number one. That's why I say they all like feel the same energy. There is something bigger. There is a purpose for you. But the purpose you've been living is a lie because it's not your purpose. It's who you think you're supposed to be. Like, does that make sense the way I'm trying to explain it? It's not you authentically. It's who you've been trained to be. And now you authentically is coming out, and it's kind of like pushing you in a specific direction. It's pushing you into uncomfortable waters. I'm not going to lie. This is why you're feeling a lot of anxiety. One, you feel this big shifts coming in. You feel something big is about to happen. And it's making you very anxious because you're the caretaker. So you have to have everything in place before any changes occur, and you don't know what the fuck is happening. So you're overwhelming yourself. The solar plexus is also about trust. It's your personal power, and it's trust. And it's not necessarily trust God or trust Jesus. It's more of trust yourself. Trust your gut. Trust your heart. Trust that little voice that's telling you things. Trust that. Not the crazy voice in your head, but that inner voice coming from like your heart, stomach area. Because the one in our heads is crazy. Then there is this one is one. It's a fear. And the fear is that if you become who you really are, then where do you fit in? Right now, I fit in because I'm this person with these people. If I'm not this person anymore, then who am I and where am I going to fit in? Does that make sense? And if you can like relate to that, explore that a little bit. Like, why do you have to fit in anywhere? Like, you're always going to have support, whether it might not be biological family, maybe it's friends. You will always have spiritual support, source energy support, the support of earth. You're always going to have really where the deep, intense energies are. You will always have that support. But feeling like you belong and to fit in, you're in a fake belonging right now. That's what it feels like. You think you belong and fit in, but it's fake. You're a fraud because that's not who you are. That's who you think you're supposed to be. So that is like a fake group. It's like a cult. You don't need it. You need to be true to yourself and find your place in the world, in your family, like with whatever. But not from here, not from like, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is, but from here. Follow that. I don't know why I felt that very intense. Like it was almost as if your guides were yelling at me, telling me to say this, telling me to be very firm with you. Okay, here you go. The waiting game. Trapped in fear. So this is the shit I'm talking about. You're waiting for something to change, but you're not willing to make the changes. So you're waiting. And you see how you're kind of stuck in this crazy ass loop. Nothing's going to change if nothing changes. And there are things that are in our control that we have the control or the ability to change. And then there are things we have to trust and surrender to a higher power because it's out of our control. You can only change the things you can. You can't change the things that are out of your control. And Matt, I swear to God, I feel like I just told you this. Which is what's keeping you in fear, which went back to your root chakra with the fear. And that fear is related to either not belonging, not fitting in. Maybe you feel like you're going to lose yourself or lose who you think you are in the world by finding yourself. It's just however you relate to it, that's what it is. And that's what you go and explore. Exactly, Anita. To be different, we have to be different. And Victor, yes, fear holds us back, but fear has its place. Fear has its place because if we're fearless, we would be fucked up. We really would. So we need fear to keep us safe to a certain degree. Being afraid to take chances that intuitively we know we should take, that's a different kind of fear that's telling you don't jump in the fire. Different fear. Like one is for your safety. The other one is just because, it's uncomfortable. Your outcome. Victory and success, movement, choices, and decisions. So I do feel like, well, the victory and success is self-explanatory. But the movement, choices, decisions. Right now, consciously, you can make the changes and choices you need to make. However, if you keep avoiding it, you're going to get your ass kicked by the universe and you're going to be forced into choices. And those choices are going to come from desperation. And which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I think desperation is the biggest motivation on the planet. Because that's the only time you don't give up is when you're desperate. Like, I have to make this work. So it could be either way, it's going to be a good thing. But right now, you are still in a place where you can consciously take that leap of faith and make that choice. If you're not ready, you feel like you're not ready and you can't, that's okay. Just know you're going to get shoved very, very soon. And it's going to be a good thing. It's just going to throw you off. It's going to be like, oh shit. But you knew this was coming. So now your angel cards. Show the world the real you. Balance spirituality and practicality. Surrender to the divine. And you're very close to achieving your goal. So even though you don't know what it is what your goal is, you have the bigger picture. You might not have the details, but you're in the details. That's why you're looking at it as chaos, and however you're looking at it, it's the little things that are going to lead to the bigger picture. So you're in this major shift, which I think we all are. I mean, deck number 1 had the same thing. And I'm pretty sure deck number 3 will have the same thing. Balance spirituality and practicality. So I do feel if you are too much in your mind, I'm not going to say go out and meditate. When I talk about meditation, I don't necessarily mean, for hours. Meditation could be anything. I always say that. It could be a walk. It could be staring at a candle flame for 10 minutes, staring at the sky, staring at a tree, whatever it is, gardening, anything that helps you connect and ground you and get you out of your head. Painting is a great meditation because when you're doing art, when you're creating art, you're all in this zone. You're not thinking, oh my God, next week, blah, blah, blah. You're not there. All your attention is in the creation of this project, right? That's what meditation is. Some kind of act where you can quiet your mind, really shut it off, and allow things to come through and put yourself in a zone of creation. Do something you love to do, whether it's dancing, singing, playing music, painting, drawing, whatever it is. Do something creative that puts you in this zone and allow yourself to unplug from the chaos and kind of reconnect within you so you can hear your higher self communicate. I was going to say hear yourself think, but it's more like your higher self communicate. The situation will improve. And that's like the chaos that listen to your intuition. And then you have no and not the right time. And these, I feel like this is your idea how things need to go. And that's not how things are going to go. So it goes back to surrendering to the divine. It goes back to the trust. It's out of your control. Like, be okay with it. You have no control over this. Be okay with it and just allow it to unfold the way it's meant to unfold. And don't put so much pressure on yourself to fix everything for everyone. Like, just go with it. You probably don't even know what it feels like to be free. Just not care about the family, the friends, the animals, the neighbors, just what do you want to do? So things aren't going to go the way you want because you think you need to try to do it in a way that everyone's going to be happy. Not everyone's going to be happy, but that's not your problem. So let that shit go and surrender it. I do still feel like you're going to be taking a trip soon. It could be like a short trip. It could be like an overnight trip, a weekend trip, but you're taking a short trip soon. And that's where your choice comes in. Are you going to be like, oh, I can't because I have to take care of this person and that person and who's going to do this and that? Like, just go. Just go. Like, the world's not going to come to an end. Your household's not going to blow up. And if it does, you're not even going to be there. So you know what? Someone will learn some kind of lesson from it. Just, if it's something you want to do, just do it. Stop making the choices. I don't know why I feel this so strong. Stop making choices to make everyone else happy because you're sacrificing what makes you happy, which is why you can't even remember what makes you happy. So you have beginnings, uncover, and loyalty. So the numbers 19, 39, and 44. Those are the numbers that came out in your cards, but these were the numbers that I kept looking at. So either it's the numbers relate to you in some way, or you're seeing these numbers, whatever it is. 44, 39, and 19. So let's see what I feel with this. See, this feels like, even though it says like loyalty, I do feel like you have the support you need and the people you need surrounding you. So no matter who you choose to become, like being true to you, they're still going to be there. You're not going to lose anybody. And anyone you do lose, they weren't really part of your tribe anyway. I do feel like psychically, you may be coming into maybe a gift expanded. Like if you receive information through visions, you're starting to get visions in a different way, or maybe there's more details to it, or maybe there's another sense that is coming in. Like maybe you could smell the vision. However it is, there's something about your abilities that is expanding. And I don't know why I feel like there may be times when you're looking at it like that there's something wrong. Maybe if you're an empath and you're very sensitive, you're feeling more sensitive. Maybe your blood pressure went up during the spike because you're super sensitive now. And instead of considering that right away, maybe you think you're dying, which, you know, for some people, that's normal to always think. I mean, when I was sick, I thought I was going to die in my sleep from an aneurysm. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh, cool. but we all have those crazy thoughts. But something that either you think physically is wrong with you or mentally is wrong with you is actually your gift expanding. So maybe look at it from a different perspective. Look at it like, I always had the ability to sense things this way. And that kind of makes sense that I'm experiencing this now, because it is kind of related to the way I experience things. Just pay attention to it. There's nothing wrong with you. I do not, so far with deck 1 and deck 2, I did not feel anything health-wise that needed to be communicated. So if you're feeling physically like you're dealing with a lot of anxiety or blood pressure or things like that, I do not feel like, I'm not a doctor, but it does not feel like that there is a illness attached to it. It's more of a spiritual experience, whether it's energetically, gift-wise, it's something like that. And instead of panicking, communicate, ask it. Go sit outside and be like, okay, why am I feeling this? And see what comes up. I mean, literally, that's how you get information. It's not a secret. It's really how you get, all you got to do is ask. So deck number 2, I hope that resonated with you. And now I'm going to move to deck number 3, which is the Swan. And if you chose this card, you are deck number 3. You who glides across the water of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. I almost expected it to rhyme for some reason, and it didn't. So I'm going to read it again, because maybe in my mind I was waiting for a rhyme. You who glides across the water of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. So we all know the story of the swan, right? What was it? The ugly duckling and the swan, right? That's what it is. Not that I'm saying you're ugly, but maybe something that you're in right now. And this is what's coming to my attention. Like your situation just feels like it's really ugly. It's like bad. It's bringing you down. But really, it is the beginning of something beautiful. It's just the way you're perceiving it. So it's kind of similar to the other 2 decks. So let's see what's in your cards. Okay, so right off the bat, of course, you had to have the shit ton of chakras. You have 2 throat chakra cards. You have your third eye, crown, and sacral chakra. So you have a lot of shit going on. So we're going to start with, let's start with the air energy, the mind. You have, we'll do with the crown. And then the third eye. So this is this whole area. You are trapped in your thoughts. However, you're also very connected on a spiritual level. So there's kind of this duality going on within you. I want to trust this intuitive energy, but my mind, especially if you're an air sign, is trying to make sense of something that really, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Really, when you think of it and you leave this third dimensional frequency, it kind of doesn't make sense because it's quantum, right? So you're trying to make sense of something that's quantum and it doesn't. So you got this internal fight going on, which comes down into your throat chakra, which of course is communicating self-expression, and you do have the self-expression card. However, I feel like you might have some throat issues going on, whether you've lost your voice, you maybe have a sore throat or allergies or something going on with your throat. And I feel like when you might be one of those people that when you get really angry, you kind of like cry and you can't speak. Like your voice you're not able to speak. Just be aware of that. Like if you know you have that, that is what I feel like you're in right now. You feel so overwhelmed, like you can't even express yourself. So there's something from childhood, some kind of conditioning. And if you're a Taurus, because I'm a Taurus, and Taurus is governed by the throat, or Taurus governs the throat, you probably will naturally have throat chakra issues. Remember, your throat chakra is not just communicating verbally, but it's energetically. So when it comes to manifesting, like the law of attraction, what we think and what we say vibrates from our throat. And that is the energy that the universe matches. So that vibration of who you truly are comes from your throat chakra. And this is why you may be in some kind of fuckery, or you feel like you're in some kind of fuckery. Melissa, thyroid. Yeah, that's popular too, like the throat with the thyroid. And Scorpio. Scorpio could, see, I'm losing my voice, and I was fine before. I blame deck number 3. Scorpio can get lost in their thoughts based on their emotions. So they overthink their emotions. They take their emotions to heart, and then they start creating this scenario. I have a lot of Scorpios in my family, so I know that. I'm not saying like every Scorpio is like that, but that's a characteristic. They tend to Melissa's double Capricorn. Cancer Moon. Ooh, that's rough. And then we come to the sacral chakra. Even though this is sexuality, because your sacral chakra is sexual energy and emotions, I feel like in this case, it has to do with emotions. However, that past influence, and this might not resonate with everyone, but I'm feeling it for maybe someone that had some kind of sexual trauma in their past, is where the self-expression suppression is coming from. Oh, look, the dog returned. Is where that suppression is coming from. So there might be some kind of sexual trauma that you've been working through. Whatever it is, just allow it to transmute, because you can't change what happened, but you can change how you see the world and the world sees you. So I feel like deck number 3 has done a lot of work on themselves, especially if you can relate to the trauma issue. There's a lot of self-exploration that's been going on. And even though it feels chaotic right now, it's actually something beautiful. Oh, thank you, Jazz. So now you have the heart chakra. I mean, you almost got every chakra here. You got throat, third eye, you got the whole head area. You got the throat, your belly, and your heart. I mean, you just don't have the root and the solar plexus. Recognition and reward, universe, authority, and power. So this fucker. This could be a male or a male energy. And male energy does not necessarily mean man. It's a male energy. We're all both energies, and we all have a dominant energy. It has nothing to do with our sexual orientation or anything like that, or biological. It's with thinking energy, okay? So there is a male energy that if you didn't experience sexual trauma, but you're still experiencing throat chakra issues, this could be a masculine energy in your life that could have been verbally abusive, or in like, just shut up and you don't matter, and some kind of talk. I just feel like a lot of shutting up. Or it could be the person related to the trauma. It doesn't matter how you resonate with it. This person is just me. This person has their own issues, but they were your greatest teacher. And as soon as you can be okay with what already happened that you can't change, this forgiveness will happen on its own. But your idea of forgiveness is not like, okay, I forgive you. It's not about this person. It's forgiving you. Because whatever this person had you experience with them is you're blaming yourself for their behavior, if that makes sense. So you kind of like, it's not that you need to forgive them, you need to forgive yourself, because you're blaming yourself for their behavior, whatever part they played. However, you are definitely on the right path. So regardless of where you think you are, well, and that very well could be Melissa, because that's a really strong energy. That just feels like a strong energy. So it could be more than one person, or just one really shitty person. But it's got they have a strong energy, whoever that is. But you're on the right path, even though maybe you think you're a hot mess. And I don't know why that phrase came up to me. Maybe you just think you're a mess because, the swan. Maybe you still think this is where the ugly duckling comes in. Kind of makes sense, right? There's really something beautiful here. And you got recognition and reward, and then you have power. So there's some kind of validation coming in for you. And maybe you don't think you need validation in some way, but something is going to be validated for you. And this is what's going to give you that confidence, that power to like keep moving forward. Like maybe right now you just feel so broken. I don't know. That's just what it feels like. Oh, Melissa, you always say, oh, I don't know why that came up. Like, I mean, I use that phrase, but I wouldn't use it like necessarily in a reading. That's just like the, you think I'm Italian with my hands? That's just the phrase that came up for me. So, no need to worry. Remain positive. And then you have yes. So I'm just going to read off the cards before I kind of like touch the cards and see what it is, because this is funny. Some good shit is about to happen. Don't let your issues fuck it up. How, like, you can't even make this shit up. Shit could be so much worse. Be fucking grateful. How crazy is that? Remember I said that shitty person is really a blessing, your greatest teacher? It's how you're looking at it. And I know it's hard. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you need to think positive. I am not for that bullshit. I don't think we're supposed to be thinking positive. I think we need to pay attention to when we feel negative. We're allowed to feel negative. You're allowed to feel shitty, to feel negative, to be pissed, because that's how we know internally something is wrong. Something needs to change. So these people, it goes back to those gurus again, oh, think positive and don't focus on the negative. Just focus on the positive. Then how the fuck are you going to change the negative if you're not even going to acknowledge it? Think about it. How are you going to change that? How are you going to make a difference in a shitty world if you pretend it doesn't exist? It exists. You know why? We all feel it. So this, Melissa, you make me laugh when you say preach. The same thing applies in your own life. Don't be afraid to feel shitty, to feel negative, to acknowledge something negative. That's just your higher self saying, yo, something needs to change. Like, look at this shit we got going on. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Don't pretend, oh, I need to think positive. No, you don't, because you're not even going to believe it anyway. Because inside, you're vibrating that negative feeling. So telling yourself the opposite to think positive, you know what your unconscious mind is going to say? You're full of shit. Like, this ain't true. Right? I mean, that's the only thing you're going to get from that. So acknowledge it. Be okay with it. You are allowed to feel shitty. You don't always have to think positive. Now, your angel messages. Your commitment is being tested. Surprise, surprise, communication is key. There's your throat chakra again. Adjustments are required. The energy is gaining momentum. And a new romantic cycle begins. Now, if you are already in a relationship, this romantic cycle could be a new venture for you that is something that you've been wanting to do, or you just discovered that you enjoy doing something. This could be a venture. When it comes to love and career, business, to me, feels the same energy. It's some kind of creation energy. I don't know how to explain it, but it can relate to both areas. It depends how it resonates with you. So if you are not in a relationship, and it's the new moon in Libra, which we're in Aquarius, so it's in air energy unless Libra resonates with you. But there is someone coming in very soon if they're not here already for you. And someone that's going to bring balance to your life. And balance doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be all unicorns and rainbows. Sometimes balance is challenges. Sometimes it's someone who challenges you to be the best version of you. So be open to that. That's a good one, Melissa. All the single ladies. And that makes sense, Melissa, especially if you relate to that authority energy, that shitty energy. You know, you have the heart chakra come up, so you're doing healing, you're doing forgiveness. So it would make sense that someone is coming into your life, or it could be the relationship with yourself as well. If you don't care about like meeting someone, it could very well mean that you're improving the relationship with yourself, or you're on this new venture. But the new venture is going to be related to what you really love and how you express yourself, like who you really are. You know what I'm saying? You get it. So you have create, remembrance, enchanted, and adventure. See, that's what you're on. You're on like an adventure. Let me move these out of the way. So let's see what these cards have here. Okay, so the adventure card and enchanted card to me feels like nurturing your inner child. to be more spontaneous and childlike. Like, go jump in the puddle, go do something silly, do something that you used to love to do as a kid. I think nurturing your inner child right now is really, really important. And it will help you get to that forgiveness stage, that like setting yourself free stage. Oh, wow. Go see, that's cool when you set an intention and then it like comes out like that. So I feel like this is more about like inner child, having fun. Just have fun. Like deck number 2, don't take, it was deck number 2, I think. Don't take shit so seriously, like laugh, have fun. Might have been 1. Whichever deck it was. Laugh, have fun, don't take shit seriously. Look at the world the way a child does. Child is excited about everything they see, like especially a toddler. Like when they discover a spoon, it's like the greatest thing in the world. Like when they see something for the first time, they're like so excited. Like get into that mode. See things as if you're seeing it for the first time. Like maybe tell yourself, like, what would it be like if I never saw this sunset? And this is the first time I'm looking at the sunset. Or maybe look at the sunset in a way that you've never looked at it before. Do something spontaneous like that and childlike. Oh, what? Have fun and don't take things so seriously? That part, I don't know. A lot of it, Melissa, I channel. I don't even remember what I say. When I wanted, like, I was like, oh, deck number whatever resonated with me. I don't remember what the readings were. I got to go back and read it. I got to watch it. Be a kid, Melissa. Have fun. Go jump in a puddle. Jump in mud. Make a mud pie. Do something silly, spontaneous, and fun. And just do it. Like kids never do things with a reason. It's just like, well, because I wanted to do it. Like, why'd you do this? Because I wanted to. Like adults never say that. Adults are like, well, I did this because this, that. But a kid never will say that. A kid says it because they want to. Like, I don't know. I just want to do it. Do something that you just feel like doing without a reason to do it. And don't justify why you're doing it. Just do it because you want to. I do feel like, see, here's another one. The remembrance is love and healing. That's what it says on this card. So I almost want to say, like, if you're the crazy cat lady because she's sitting there with two cats, you're going to have like someone new in your life, because I'm going to be the crazy cat lady. I'm just putting it out there. I do feel like love is coming into your life. And I feel like if you've been focusing on it, I know, I'm sorry, Melissa. Maybe that's your, oh yeah, see, Melissa, you can have a snowball fight. I'm in Florida. I could throw sand. That's pretty much it. Maybe this is your kitty letting you know that, you know, she's still around you. Maybe that's why the kitties was standing out to me. And then you have the create card. And the number 32 and 29 is what's standing out with these numbers. So especially when it comes to love, if you've been focusing on that and that's something that you wanted to manifest, it goes back to your first card, the ugly duckling into the beautiful swan. So you're going into the beautiful swan stage now, even though you might not see it that way. That's where you're headed. So you're in it already. So deck number 3, I hope that resonated with you. Now we're going to do the meditation. And hopefully I don't lose my voice because I've been babbling a lot. So, okay, I think that, okay. So get yourself comfy, put it on Bluetooth or speaker, however. I just don't want you to focus on the phone. put it down somewhere. Get in a comfortable spot. Tonight's meditation is going to be focusing on the heart chakra and manifesting what we truly desire. So do not go into this meditation with a specific thought. What you're going to do is you're going to connect with your heart and allow your heart to show you what you truly desire. And then at some point in the meditation, you will be able to adjust what you want. So just go with it. No plan. We're going to wing it. We're going to go with it. So get yourself comfy. Hang on, my foot fell asleep. Okay, you can sit or lay down, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And usually it's easier if you put your hands on your heart. It's easier to connect to your heart. Just taking a deep breath and let out a big exhale. And now just focus on your inhale and exhale and how your hands move on your heart space. And just keep your focus on your heart space, whether it's your hands or within your heart. Any thoughts you become aware of, just gently bring yourself back to your heart space. There is nothing you need to think of, nothing you need to do. Just put all your attention onto your heart space. And for some of you, it's probably the first time you're connecting with your heart space. So if this is new to you, just allow the feeling to come through and feel your heart's energy. And any thoughts you become aware of, bring your attention back to your heart space. And you can feel your body relax with each exhale. And you feel so safe within your heart space. Because in that space is all that is and all that will ever be. It is your direct connection to source energy. It is the space where you create. It is the space that guides you and protects you. Now I want you to ask your heart to show you your heart's desires. And just allow images to emerge. Just observe, just go with the pictures or however you're seeing it. Allow your heart to show you what you truly love and who you truly are and what makes your heart sing. And just observe. Maybe there are things you're familiar with. Maybe there are things you've never thought of. Just allow these images to come in and out. And as you allow them to flow through, you can feel your heart space expand more and more, bringing in more visions of what makes your heart sing. Now, think about what you truly want to manifest. What intention you want to set for this new moon. And just allow that connection to your heart to create an image. And just allow, like a movie, to appear. And observe who's there with you. Who are the people? Where are you? Are you inside or outside? Is it warm or cold? How is the ground beneath your feet? Just observe all around you what you can hear, what you can see, what you can touch. Who surrounds you? And the more details, the more vivid this image becomes. And just allow your heart to align with this vision. And the more vivid this picture begins, the more your heart expands. Now, just observe how you're feeling. What emotions are coming up? Whatever the emotion, just allow it to come up. Just observe it. Your heart will take care of the rest. Whatever emotions come up, just observe and allow them to flow until you've perfected this image where you feel joy and happiness, safe and supported, accepted and loved. And allow your heart to adjust these emotions until you're in perfect alignment with this vision. And feel your heart expand even more out into the room. And now in this vision, there is something you're drawn to. Whatever it is, I want you to touch it and bring it into the third dimension. Touch it now and feel it. Is it hard or soft? Is it warm or cold? Feel every detail. Without looking at it, just feel it through your hand, bringing it into this third dimension. And set the intention that this is what you desire. This is what you want to manifest right now. This is in total alignment with your heart chakra, because you deserve to be happy and free. Now imagine you're bringing this image into the room that you're in right now. You can start with the item that you've touched. And just imagine you're bringing it into your space, into the room you're in. Invite the people. Staying connected to the emotions and the feelings of joy and happiness. And start bringing this vision into your room, into your space, pulling it down into the earth, anchoring it here, where it has no choice but to manifest. Now surround your room with love from your heart, creating a bubble around your entire space and your entire vision. and affirm to yourself that you are more than good enough and you deserve this because you are you. And so it is. Now slowly bring yourself back into the room, becoming aware of the sounds, feeling the air around you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, guys, I know this meditation was a little bit different than what we normally do. But this meditation really, I felt guided to do because it is the new moon. It is Aquarius energy. And don't worry about if you change your mind or there's something else that you wanted to manifest or there's something you want to change. I'm going to timestamp it. If you want to listen to the meditation again, of course, listen to it, or just go back into your vision and remember how you brought it in to this dimension, how you brought in the details, what you smelled, what you heard, what you saw. Little by little, just bring all those, use all your senses. The more you use your senses in a vision, the easier and quicker it manifests, because what we feel is what creates. So just visualizing it isn't enough. You have to feel it. So when you bring in your senses and you connect to the emotions in it, that's what manifests. That. So I really wanted to give you guys an idea of a simple way to visualize it. I will be doing, I know I said, because the full moon, I didn't do the meditation because I was sick, but I literally just started feeling better a couple of days ago, which is why I didn't do the meditation since then. But I will do another regular meditation, but this one I just felt was important because it was the new moon, it was Aquarius, we're all in this energy and this space. So I wanted to give you something to create with. Oh, good, Bernadette. I am glad. Lynn, where were you? I'm glad you liked it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. Like I said, I will be doing a meditation during the week. Of course, on my Patreon. My poor patrons were so patient with me during my sickly time. But I will also be doing one on here on YouTube because we didn't meditate last full moon. So, oh, Judy, there you are. Guys, have an amazing night. I send you an abundance of love and light and blessings. And I will see you. Be sure to subscribe so when I do post the meditation, we'll do it live. You'll be notified. This week is a good week for me to catch up on everything because I do feel better, just a little stuffy. But I will be catching up on everything. And thank you, Lori. And trying to get back on track that I originally wanted to start the new year off with. And here I am, like, bragging about it, holding myself accountable. And then I got sick as a dog. So that screwed everything up. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad it helped you. Sending you extra love and light so it's easier for you to get through this. I know it's rough. I will see you the full moon or at least the next meditation. Good night, guys. Have an amazing night. Bye.